bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man, the leader. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers.
Have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if had ain't.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Cincinnati for the home opener. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why have more extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Going for a right side here, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but
blitz coming, and down he goes. Miles Jack coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive.
Kill.
On 2nd down, Perkins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just gut.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
He'll rumble for about 6, up across the 20 to the 22. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week: 14 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
On second down, here's Fournette. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
A big third down play there for the Jags. 54 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They're going to look to throw. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Back to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's third and goal. Here's Fournette. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. They'll set up to throw. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Big fourth down conversion for the score. And the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah,
and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
Let's go. Interception, baby. Let's go.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A first carry now for Alex Collins. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here's Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's a give to Fournette. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. He'll drop to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or 2. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense make it. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Now He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Prescott to throw it. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to float this over the middle deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars! DJ Chark, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Point after, right down the middle.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that said
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A handoff to Fournette. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars continue to roll. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. 15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. set them back 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We call that a sack block.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles.
You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this 2nd half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gone.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This is caught. A good pickup there, a 22.
Partner, if you and I were playing quarterback in this one, we would be really confident right now throwing it to him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's just saying, hey, I was all state. I'll make it rain out here.
No. Check, Patriots.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just in their ears.
And a loose football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit. It's so many times.
After review of the play,
The Bengals bring out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Leopard!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And all the way down to the 27. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 53 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for... Count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Prescott, and the Jags get to him as down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A very solid gain of 27. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. For the 4th quarter, we'll begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long for Prescott. A dump off to the flat for Perkins. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Here's Hines, and he stopped immediately there. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. Off the corner, where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Parsons. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars continue to roll. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything...
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Prescott throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver If you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually...
And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. And I don't quite know what's happening here. It's a first down, but the field goal team is out onto the field. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll look to throw here. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? Despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling, but inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Prescott, and that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.